and I'll keep it hush.
Ow! Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Freak Show, bringing you a brand new series on my channel, Chaturdays. On this episode of Chaturdays, we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead No Man's Land, specifically the two options that I think are present for the game to take in this long break between Season 7 and Season 8 of The Walking Dead. Obviously, spoilers lie ahead. First off, let's talk about the game itself. The Walking Dead No Man's Land is a mobile game developed by Next Games, and it's the official game for The Walking Dead TV series. Download link in the description. In this game, the player controls a group of heroes, who are characters from the show, and survivors, randomly generated characters that only appear in the mobile game. And utilizing a combination of these two archetypes, fights against hordes of the undead, bandits called freemen, and other players, heroes, and survivors, and outposts. A few days ago, we had a questionable hero released into the game, Eugene Porter. Nothing against it, I personally love his character on the show. But in a game so reliant on combat, it astounds me how a character with relatively zero self-defense skills has been implemented. There's still many good characters in The Walking Dead's universe, like Aaron, who is coming soon, Enid, Simon, Jerry, those ladies from Oceanside, the scavengers, kinda. Oh, Shiva, but she couldn't be a hero, right? Foreshadowing. Okay, let's face it. There are very few active characters left in The Walking Dead's universe who haven't been implemented into the mobile game, and with a break this big coming up, what's Next Games to do? The way I see it, Next Games has two options, implementing characters from Fear the Walking Dead or reviving deceased characters. Next Games has already acquired the license to the Big Daddy Walking Dead, so I would imagine acquiring the license to Fear shouldn't be that hard. However, the same reason why the license is easy to acquire is the same reason why they shouldn't do it. Fear's fanbase is much smaller than the original show, and it really wouldn't attract any new players or provide incentive to stay for existing players. That's why I lean heavily towards the latter. I propose they start reviving deceased fan favorite characters, like Tyrese, Shane, the Governor, Dale, HERSHEL, Beth, Bob, Spencer, Andrea, Merle, T-Dog, hell, maybe even Axel and Oscar. I propose they do something similar to the Season 7 missions, which rewarded Negan and Ezekiel upon completion. A new hero or heroes would be released every 2 weeks, along with a special mission portraying one of the character's most iconic moments. I think Shane would make a good incentive for finishing all the missions, as there are still many people who like Shane, and there are freaking what-if theories surrounding him, so his mission will be the last we discuss. I'd like to mention I drew up a preliminary list of traits for each of these characters, but it's not set in stone. I also try to make their leader traits based off some of their famous lines, but obviously some of them didn't have lines iconic enough for me to make a leader trait based off of them, so bear with me on that one. If we were to follow these guidelines, I think our most likely candidates are, in order of presumed release of course, HERSHEL, T-Dog, Andrea, Merle, the Governor, Tyrese, Beth, and finally, Shane. Let's begin with HERSHEL Greene's mission. It would be the last stand at his farm where you'd fight with him, Beth, and Maggie against a huge horde of walkers until eventually being forced to retreat. He would likely be a hunter, and his potential list of traits is this: defensive stance, vigilant, marksman, retaliate, and his leader trait, of course, would be you risk your life, where all survivors' attacks deal bonus damage and crit chance if they attack on their turn and they haven't moved. As you can see, he is heavily reliant on not moving around too much as, well, you know. T-Dog's mission would recreate him escorting a very weak Carol through a few groups of walkers to safety, where eventually only she escapes, giving T-Dog his iconic martyric death. He'd be a bruiser and would have the traits Iron Skin, Strong, Retaliate, and Dodge. His leader trait would be Martyr's Effort, where attacks that stun enemies stun them for an additional turn. Andrea's up next. She'd be a shooter with the traits Marksman, Bullet Dodge, Sure Shot, and Lucky. Her leader trait would be Pain Doesn't Go Away, and all survivors take a percentage less damage from all sources. Her mission would be the game of cat and mouse she played alongside the governor in the warehouse, eventually escaping, leaving the governor trapped inside. Merle wiping out a big amount of the governor's forces is one of the series' best moments, so that would undoubtedly be his mission. He would be an assault or hunter with the traits Iron Skin, Marksman, Retaliate, and Bullet Dodge. His leader trait would be Battle Hardened, where your survivors deal bonus critical hit damage. The governor's mission is pretty hard to narrow down, as it could be the other perspective of the Andrea chase, him going to get oxygen for David Chamberlain, or mowing down a big amount of his people. He would undoubtedly be an assault class, and his leader trait would be Kill or Die, where killing an enemy may award an additional charge point. His other traits would be Marksman, Retaliate, Dodge, and Sure Shot. Next up is Tyrese, whose mission would be him dispatching a large group of walkers by himself, as we saw multiple times on the show. A, when they were going to the veterinary college, and B, when they had to negotiate with the member of Terminus to keep Judith alive. Tyrese would undoubtedly be a bruiser, and his leader trait would be Don't Get Used to It, where your survivors have increased dodge chances and take less damage while overwatching. His other traits would be Iron Skin, Retaliate, Strong, and Power Strike. Beth's mission would feature her and Daryl surviving in the wilderness, where she was sealed as a survivor. I would like her to be a scout, and her traits would be Lucky, Dodge, Vigilant, and Strong. Her leader trait would be Truly Alone, where attacks that don't generate threat have a chance to reduce it. Finally, Shane's mission would be him and Rick going into the woods and having their final stand, ultimately resulting in Shane's death. I would like it to be hard though, where you would have to get Rick down to a certain health before you can finish the mission, later having Carl come in and finish the deed. Shane would likely be a shooter, and his leader trait would be Anything It Takes, where your survivors gain a chance to kill walkers during struggle. Marksman, Sure Shot, Vigilant, and Lucky. Releasing these missions and their respective hero bi-weekly would leave us at the beginning of October, where the new season of The Walking Dead will premiere. There may be some trouble getting the actors to sign off on their likeness. Some actors may be more difficult than others. I feel like most of them should be pretty easy to acquire as they're still involved in the Walking Dead community. However, Laurie Holden, who played Andrea, had a few run-ins with the crew. Same with Irony Singleton, who played T-Dog. Rarity-wise, almost all of these heroes would be 2 stars. Merle and Tyrese might be 3 stars, though Shane would definitely be a 3-star hero, as he is the reward for completing all the missions. As far as the governor goes, he should be a 4-star hero. Obviously, these characters and more would likely be in the game had it been released alongside the TV series, but since it was released mid-season 6, great characters like these never got a chance to be implemented. That is why this summer break is a perfect time for them to be added among the ranks of heroes. With that, we're at the end of today's Chaturday. If you liked it, remember to subscribe to my channel to keep up with my latest content. Like, comment, and share with your friends. Until next time, it's been your boy Freak Show, and I'm out. Peace!
I'm in love with the cocoa.